All right, this is really simple. Annually set your budget, give yourself a raise, take care of yourself, invest in things that matter to you, commit to training and education every single year, whether it be getting an MBA, going to executive training, going and taking a meditation class, going to a silent retreat. These things are things that not only will benefit you, but they'll benefit the company, and your employees will see you do these things, and that will reinforce that they have the permission to do that themselves. It is no longer acceptable for you to come last. So one thing that I recommend to all of my mentees is we often don't know what we're worth. So I want you to go and actually talk to a recruiter and ask the recruiter what you're worth. And so that sounds crazy, right? Because you run a business, you might have 10, 20, 30 employees, but recruiters want to get to know you because they want to hire for you. So something that I did about 5 years ago is I called a recruiter and I said, hey, I see this job that you have posted. It's an incredible opportunity. I don't want it. I'm happy as an executive and a senior executive in a really successful venture-backed company, but let me interview for it. And I did. I went through a 6-week interview process, and it wasn't because I wanted the job, but I wanted to know what skills I had to build in myself and what that future person was worth, because we're always moving toward a better version of us. You are possibly the best person in your company to do pretty much everything. I'm so sorry to say that to you, but can you imagine if you did? One of my favorite people runs a retail business. And what I love most about this person is he's the master of leverage and delegation. So I'm going to talk for a moment about the difference between these two things. Actually, there are 4 things. So abdication, I'm going to try on the negative side of the stick. Abdication is when I give someone a responsibility and a job that they are not able to do. So I abdicate an important thing to them. Right job, wrong person. And so what tends to happen is I end up over-investing because they're not going to meet the expectation. I end up not getting what I want, so the business doesn't grow. And this is when people say things like, stop it. I'll just do it myself. How often do you say that? If you're saying that more than like once every 100 years, we have a problem, okay, friend? We have a big problem. Never say that, because there is someone better to do that, whatever that is, and your job is to find them, because you know what you're great at. And if you're saying that, that means you've given or you've abdicated to someone else and they have not delivered. So abdication, bad side of the stick. We do not want that. Micromanagement. I heard the best definition of micromanagement. Micromanagement is having one outcome, and it is then having only one path to get to that outcome, which is mine. So imagine this. I've got someone who works inside of my organization, and I've asked them to create a customer presentation. A presentation that sells our company and talks about our company. So that person says, what an exciting opportunity. I'm in marketing, I get to work with the leader of our company, and they go out and they build a beautiful presentation. And as you go through it, you think to yourself, I've done better. I don't like the way this is done. And you proceed, which we've all done. How many of us have this red pen? Where you essentially say, no, not good enough, I don't like that, don't do that, move this here. And what you've done is not only have you removed any leverage that you can get from that person, but you demoralize that person, and you've actually taught them that not only do you know everything, and they can't innovate or bring any interesting insights to the business, but that if they try to innovate or bring anything new to the business, they'll be punished for it. And so micromanagement is having one outcome and only one way to get there, which is yours. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. How we manage ourselves and how much we love ourselves and we respect what we're great at allows other people in the organization to flourish. And so this friend of mine who is an incredible leader and who does a lot to inform and empower his team, you're going to have people who fail and who don't do things perfectly, but what you're going to create is a sense of ownership and drive and mutual benefit that will actually take that employee who's considering, leaving your company or who is side hustling. You're going to bring that energy into the business versus out of the business. Okay, so abdication, right job, wrong person, micromanagement, one outcome, it's only mine. Here's the other interesting side, delegation. So delegation is like, it's like a hub and spoke. You in the middle, and you're giving out things to do. Hey, go build that customer presentation and bring it back to me when it's done. That's good, but you're not going to accelerate the growth of your business doing that. It's a method. If you're maturing someone in your organization, you're giving them new skills. Yeah, you give them tasks to do, but ultimately you open that loop and you close that loop. So delegation is actually not that strategic. It's done in every organization. We all do it, but you should delegate in order to get to something called leverage. And leverage comes up in a couple situations. You're going to love this. Imagine if every time you needed something done in the organization, someone already knew it had to be done. And when it was done, it had an outcome associated with it. It had an impact that would be measurable, and it was better than you could do. So I'm over here, I'm abdicating, I get the worst possible outcome. I'm micromanaging, I've just hurt someone's feelings because, oh my gosh, I've asked you to do something and you're not doing it well, versus I'm delegating, which I'm teaching you how to do what I want you to do, again, which is a form of micromanagement, or leverage, which is my organization knows how to think into its own future. And as entrepreneurs, that is what we want. Because what feels good about being an entrepreneur is not having all those responsibilities and being the one throat to choke or the one person where the buck stops here. No, it's growing people. That's why we're in this, to make ourselves better and to make others better. And so if your organization's got leverage, you're actually getting exponential returns. So think about leverage in a couple simple ways. Am I hiring people who are excellent at what they do or who are just excellent? That's your first question. Your second question, have I made the vision and key metrics and impact required for this organization to be successful? Have I made that available to everyone inside the organization? Number three, have I built the systems required for people to find and complete and create leverage from the work that's required? And if we haven't done those three things, we're not going to scale fast.